cover. And then when I found out, oh, she co-wrote it with Walker Hayes. No wonder, right?
Yeah,
How
I
was
know.
that working with Walker Hayes?
It was everything you'd expect working with Walker Hayes. He is one of my favorite human beings.
There are certain people that when they hit you up, you just gotta drop it.
This is Up and Country on 93.7 The Bull. It's powered by V Livecast. I'm your host, Sue Bonzel. Let's get this show started. Alana Springsteen, hey girl, how are you?
I'm so good, Sue. It's great to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I am so impressed with you. Saw you on TikTok, heard your song on Spotify, and I'm like, I got to meet this girl. Girl, you're a talent. You picked up a guitar when you were like 7 and wrote your first song when you were 9?
I did, yeah. Music has been my passion since literally day one. Like, growing up, I was always singing around the house, always obsessed with music. Like Shania Twain, Faith Hill, Carrie Underwood, those were my girls. Grew up on country music and grew up singing in church, actually, too. Both my granddads are pastors. And then was always also in love with words and telling stories. And I was like the creative writer. English was my class. I was always writing poetry and things. But after I picked up the guitar when I was 7, it was just like an instant. I just started writing songs. It just kind of flowed naturally. And I realized I was never going to stop. Like, it was just what I was meant to do. And from then on, it's been nothing else, no plan B, just music.
Well, I mean, how lucky for you that you discovered your passion and your gift like so young. And so
Yeah.
now I read that you were homeschooled, which allowed you to move to Nashville at a very young age too.
Yeah. And honestly, the way it all happened was very much a God thing. Homeschooling for me was great because I was able to finish and then pour myself into something that I really, really loved. And it just gave me the freedom to be able to take trips back and forth. So I was like 10 years old, getting in a van with my parents, driving up to Nashville, driving back like 4 times a year. So from even that young, like, we were already like getting my roots in Nashville and figuring out what the music industry was about. And I never would have been able to do that if I had been tied down to a school schedule. So it was a blessing for sure.
Wow, that's so cool that I mean, I got to say bravo to your parents because, parenting in general, not easy, but then, allowing you really to step into who you are and what your dream is, which I think is so amazing. So kudos to mom and dad.
Yeah, they're literally the best ever. I'm just so grateful to have had them and just people who fed into that dream because it is crazy. Like, it's not a normal like life path, but when you feel called to something so strongly, I think you've got to go for it. And I had those people in my life, so I'm very, very blessed.
That is so cool. So now I found out that you recently played your first big arena concert. What was that like? That must have been amazing.
I'm sure you can imagine. It was absolutely just a moment I will never forget. That's one of the things where, as a kid, at least for me, that was something I dreamed about. Like, I would sit and daydream about playing shows like that, like looking out at crowds that big, hearing my music in those kind of like arenas. And to be doing that this year is something I never would have expected. But also, Lainey's fan base is incredible. I feel so lucky to have gotten to be in front of them every single night. And they were just there to hear the music, which is the coolest thing, just to have that back and forth connection with the crowd. And especially coming out of COVID too, that was something I was missing so much of. So yes. It was an absolute dream come true. I've definitely so many pinch me moments in that entire tour.
And so you also your first time being on the tour bus and the whole tour bus experience. How was that?
Ugh, a dream. I mean, compared to getting in a van and like driving to states and doing like makeup in the van mirrors, like I've done all of that and I still love it. It's still great, but when you've got like a bed and you've got a home base and somewhere your band can hang out, it changes the entire thing. So super, super grateful. Hopefully we can continue that trend in 2022.
Good idea. I like that idea. Yeah. So now I watched some of your TikToks and you've got somebody who's always throwing out, asking you to finish the lyrics. Who is it that's doing that? And by the way, I like that series. I think it's pretty killer and you're really good at it.
Oh, you're so kind. I love finding songs to cover and I love music. I'm always on Spotify discovering new music. And so the voice behind the camera is actually my mom. So she's got a great...
Okay.
Yeah, it's my mom. She's amazing. She's always around the house, like just throwing stuff at me all the time. And it's something that just kind of started super unplanned. I was like, oh, this is fun. Let's see what happens. And they started really becoming a thing. So I just like to have fun with it.
I think it's great. I mean, honestly, and I was telling my producer Ryan earlier, I was like, this girl can literally sing anything and sing it well. So, I mean, honestly, I was kind of like, let's see, what does she sound like? And I'm like, is it Carrie Underwood and Taylor Swift, like a little combination? Like,
Wow.
I'm not sure, but either way, you sound amazing. And so your song, the one song that I really like that I found was your Zero Trucks. Now,
Hey.
the the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, this is a killer song. It's got this like, it's like kind of like, very catchy. Okay, cool.
Clever.
Right? Clever, very clever. And then when I found out, oh, she co-wrote it with Walker Hayes. No wonder, right?
Yeah,
How
I know.
was that working with Walker Hayes?
It was everything you'd expect working with Walker Hayes. He is one of my favorite human beings and truly just everything you think he is. Like, he's just the most genuine, joyful person. And actually, we wrote it during COVID. So we wrote it over Zoom. And it was the first time we had worked together. I'd been a fan of his music for a long, long time. And we jumped on, and he was like, I've had this idea sitting in my phone for a long time, and I just feel like it could be perfect for you. And so the second I heard it, I was like, I am obsessed. Like, it's such a fun play on words. And for a project like History of Breaking Up Part 1, which is the one that just came out this year, I was exploring all the different sides of like heartbreak and loss and relationships and figuring that out at 20 and 21. And it was definitely like a piece that I felt like it needed. You're still losing somebody, but it's a different perspective on it. It's like, you know what? My life is actually better without you in it. And you get back to you and the things that make you happy and the people that love you most. And you realize how okay you are without somebody in your life. And it's just a fun little song. And it's always fun to play live. And I'm so grateful to have gotten to work with him. He's truly one of the most talented people I know.
That's so cool. That is so awesome. So History of Breaking Up, Part 1, that's the first album, right?
Part 1.
And so all of these songs, are they coming from your personal experience? Are you songwriting with other artists?
Yeah. So when you speak of other artists, actually, that's kind of how it all started. Was last year. The first song on the project I wrote with Roman Alexander, who's another artist in town that I love, and it's called Trying Not To. We wrote it and just fell in love with the song. It kind of took on a life of its own. Everybody we played it for loved it. And we're like, you know what? It'd be fun to share the first release of this year like together. And so that ended up being the first release on the project. But all of these songs are songs that I've written, and I'm lucky enough to have gotten to produce several of them too, co-produce them with some amazing people in town. And a lot of them are from experience. As a 20, 21-year-old, you have a really different perspective on love. I'm learning literally things every single day, every relationship that I go through. I learned something about myself, honestly, and it was just kind of a journey of, talking about my experience through these things. And I know I'm not the only one that goes through things like this and feels these emotions. And that's my favorite thing about music, is just the way it connects us and helps us feel, not as alone. It's like somebody else out there is going through the exact same thing. And if people can find a piece of themselves in my stories, that's everything to me. So
That's killer. I love that. And so I didn't mean to like necessarily compare you to Taylor Swift from the breakup song type things. I was thinking more about the voice, but I mean, maybe it is the breakup songs. I don't know. Maybe it is that too. Who knows?
I just love how honest she always was with her lyrics too.
Yeah.
I try to keep that in my songs too. Just real stories and real life, and it's really special.
Absolutely. Well, I got this. I'm going to read this. This is a quote from People, so People magazine. And then I'm gonna see if you're willing to play a little song for us. But I got to share this with everybody. So, History of Breaking Up, Part 1, that's your album, serves as Springsteen's most important and most anticipated project of her still young career, a magical mixture of deep thoughts on love and heartbreak, all delivered by a voice that seems to represent the future of country music. That is killer. Congratulations.
To hear that is absolutely crazy. And from People magazine, like, I don't know. It's really, really special. And it makes me go, like, how lucky am I to get to do this every single day and get to put together music with people that I love and adore. I'm just living the dream every day, and I feel so, so lucky for all the fans out there listening and supporting it. And, you know, people like that write quotes like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, my life is made.
Right?
Cool.
Well, you're definitely fan worthy. Like I said, you have an incredible voice. You're an incredible talent. So I would love it if you would play a song for us, if you're willing.
I would love to. I got you.
Great.
I'm going to play you something from the project that I just put out called History of Breaking Up, the one we've been talking about. And this is, people ask me what my favorite song is on the project, and I think this might be it. It's really hard because I think all my songs are like my children. They're my babies. I bring them into the world, and I love all of them equally. But this one's really special. I'm really proud of it. I got to write it with Pete Good and Travis Wood here in town, and it was just a really, really great day. And, you know, sometimes no matter how much you love somebody, you're just not the one. Like, you can try, you can want it really badly, but sometimes there's just somebody else. I think everybody has that person they're meant for. And this song is kind of like, it's really vulnerable. It's one of the more vulnerable songs on the project because it hurts, but I think the cool thing about it is there's also a lot of power in realizing when you deserve better and when you need to let something go. And so that's kind of what this song is about. It's called Girlfriend. I hope you guys love it. Here we go.
She walks in, you stop talking, I see it all over your face. You still get defensive every time somebody brings up her name, and I could tell you that I don't see it. You could swear that you mean it when you say you don't want no one else, but baby, you've been lying to yourself. Oh no, she's still the one in your head. I'm just a girl in your bed, and she's got a hold of your heart. I'm just the one in your arms when you're with me. You ain't with me. I feel her name on your lips when you kiss me. It kills me. You're gonna end up with her in the end. She's your girl. I'm just your girlfriend. Oh, heart don't lie, neither do I. I don't wanna be second place. So when that day comes and she calls and you run, I ain't gonna beg you to stay. But damn, I wish that you had never met her. Wish there was a way I could make you forget her. But she's still the one in your head. I'm just the girl in your bed. She's got a hold of your heart. I'm just the one in your arms when you're with me. You ain't with me. I feel her name on your lips when you kiss me. It kills me. You're gonna end up with her in the end. She's your girl. I'm just your girlfriend. Yeah, she's still the one in your head. I'm just the girl in your bed. She's got a hold of your heart. I'm just the one in your arms when you're with me. You ain't with me. I feel her name on your lips when you kiss me. It kills me. You're gonna end up with her in the end. She's your girl. I'm just your girlfriend. Oh yeah, she's your girl. I'm just your girlfriend. Yeah. She's your girl. I'm just your girlfriend.
Yay. Oh, I love that song.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much. Thank you, sister. I appreciate it.
That is awesome. So now I was just thinking about, I watched a video, I think it was on your TikTok, where you were getting ready to go out on stage and forgot your piece there. So,
Saw that,
and you were kind of freaking out. So tell me about that experience.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I just had to share it because I went back and I watched that video and I was like, oh my God, this is what it's really like backstage sometimes. And honestly, the crowd half the time doesn't even know those things go wrong backstage. But basically, we have a system before stage where I'm there, I have my TM hand me my in-ears, hand me my pack, we missed our routine. And so I didn't realize that I didn't have my in-ears in. I had my pack, but I didn't have my in-ears, and I didn't realize it until the intro track started. And I was like, something is wrong here. So mad dash backstage, and we found the in-ears, and like we're just wrangling to get them in, and I can tell you my heart was like beating out of my chest. It was like, so I was just stressed and anxious, but honestly my team had my back. We made it work, and these things happen all the time. So
Sure.
the show must go on. My band covered me like absolute pros, so I'm very lucky to have a good team. But I just thought it was
That's awesome.
hilarious. I laughed about it for the next few days.
No, you know what? I love that. I appreciate that because, seeing something that's real and authentic, and when stuff happens, because that's reality. That's what we love to see. We want to know, okay, what's really happening behind the scenes? It's all like it all looks good on the front, but you're like, what's happening behind the backstage?
Right. Oh my gosh, I'll be the first to admit I am like far from perfect. I do not have everything together all the time. Sometimes shows go off without a hitch and it's amazing, and then sometimes you get things like this that happen and it's just part of it. So I like to share all of it with you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Please continue to do so. We love that.
Heck yeah.
So now I understand you are a coffee lover.
Oh, that's an understatement.
What's your favorite like coffee drink?
Okay, so my usual go-to is an almond milk latte. Almond milk because I try not to do dairy. And sometimes like I do it hot or iced, either way. But sometimes I'll just go with a classic cold brew. I don't need a lot of flavoring in it. I've been drinking it so long. I'm just like, give me the caffeine, all the caffeine. I'm probably a 2-cup-a-day person. I don't know. My life would be so incomplete without coffee. So I also do this series for anyone who's watching on my Instagram, where every city I go to, or like just around Nashville, I will rate coffee shops because I think we all need to help each other out and find the good spots. So I try to do my.
They see you coming and they're like, "Uh-oh, hurry up, make it good."
Oh my gosh!
Here comes
if we get
Alana.
to that, mission accomplished.
Now, did I see you deliver a coffee to a fan?
Oh, yeah, that was on my TikTok. Yeah. So basically what happened was I was getting coffee the last day in Tulsa, and it was a really cold day. And I've been getting DMs from people all morning, like, we're in line, it's cold, but we can't wait to see you. And just that dedication, like, means the absolute world to me. The fact that they're going to get out there and stand in the cold to come see me is crazy. So I was getting coffee. I had a fan DM me. She was like, it's cold out here. Like, bring your girl a latte, like, laughy face or whatever. And so I was like, okay, serious, I need to do this. And I was like, what's your order? And she was like, I'm just kidding. But she said her order. She was like, you don't need to do that. So I bought her coffee and like just went out in the crowd and tried to find her. And she ended up being with a bunch of friends, and we just got to chat and hang out for a while. They were at the front of the line, had been there since like 4 a.m. Like,
oh my
it's
God.
just absolutely crazy. So I try to do what I can. I got to help a girl out. And yeah, it's just
that is so
my
awesome.
My favorite thing on tour is just meeting the fans and getting to hug people, especially, I mean, after COVID, like that's
right.
That connection
Absolutely.
is everything. So I try to go find people whenever I can and say, hey.
That is so cool. I love that you did that, and I love all the stuff you're doing on your social media. So you guys follow Alana Springsteen. Now I have to ask, because I got to ask this one last question. Springsteen, last name, any relation?
I get asked that all the time.
I figured.
I don't think there is, but it's pretty freaking cool that we share the same last name.
Right?
It just worked out perfectly.
There you go. Exactly. Well, I was like, she's a pretty incredible musical talent. It would make sense if you were related. I mean, that would make sense.
I mean, maybe there's just something in the name. I don't know.
Maybe there's power in that name. That's a powerful name. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us and sharing everything that you've got going on. You've got History of Breaking Up Part 2 coming out. Is that coming out next year?
Yes, ma'am. I'm so excited. This music I've been writing, I literally got out of a write today. I've been writing all through this month and next month, just finishing it up and in the studio. So you guys stay tuned. I'm so excited about this music.
Well, I am super excited for you and all of your success, and I hope we get to meet in person sometime soon.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you so much, Sue, for this. I
Awesome.
love getting to you and talk for a bit.
That's fantastic. Thank you again.
See you later.
Okay. Woo. Thanks for tuning in to Up and Country, where we have new episodes every Tuesday. And be sure to visit upncountry.com for all of the episodes and information about our VIP club, where you're going to get exclusive backstage access. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, make sure to follow me, Sue Bonzel. I'll see you next week.